So I'm currently at the Benin border. I'll be crossing from Togo to Benin. So this is the transport station I'm right now. And something I noticed is you see a plate number like this, and then you suddenly see a Nigerian plate number. So that means you can easily get a transport from here straight to Nigeria, which I believe is a good thing. That is amazing. You won't believe what happened after I arrived in Benin. It all started at a random bus park at the border of Benin. I was in the car park when I decided to take a cheap car across the border. Simple plan, just cross into Benin and continue my trip. But the moment we crossed the border, I saw something I've never seen like this before. They were selling petrol in glass bottles. Yes, actual glass bottles. This is something I've never seen anywhere before. And just when I thought that was the most surprising part, our car broke down, overheating. Our car is broken here in the middle of nowhere in Benin. There's a car right here. Now we're stuck in the middle of nowhere. God knows when we're gonna leave this place. I just hope the car gets fixed. Otherwise, we'll be here. We were stuck by the roadside just waiting, not knowing how long it would take or what would happen next. Eventually someone came to fix it, but it was taking too long, so I made a quick decision. I flagged down another random car, jumped in and continued my journey to Cotonou, Benin Republic. When I actually arrived in Benin, I was honestly amazed. Cotonou is beautiful, clean, calm and full of fun. Most people don't know this, but one of the most powerful kingdoms in African history came from this small country, Benin Republic. Located in West Africa between Nigeria and Togo, Benin may look small on the map, but its history is anything but small. Long before colonial borders existed, this land was home to the Kingdom of Dahomey, one of the most organized and powerful kingdoms in West African history. The kingdom was known for its disciplined military, strong leadership, and unique traditions. But what made Dahomey truly famous was its army. Among its most feared warriors were the Dahomey Amazons, an elite group of female soldiers who protected the kingdom. I know you're wondering why I'm standing in front of the statue. Let me tell you a little bit about the history behind this statue. It's here to commemorate the Dahomey Amazons, an all-female warrior regiment back in the 17th century here in Benin. These women were renowned for their fearlessness, intense combat skills, and also their discipline. It also says a lot about the history of women in Africa. It was also built in a way to make you understand this is really an important thing in the history of Benin and Africa in general, because it's very huge. You can see that. I've never seen such a huge statue in my life. If you come to Benin, you have to come check it out. These women were trained from a young age to fight, defend the king, and serve the nation. They were known for their courage, strength, and incredible discipline. European travelers who encountered them centuries ago were shocked to see a full military unit made entirely of women. Even today, their legacy is still remembered across Benin. But Benin's story doesn't end with ancient kingdom. This country also holds deep spiritual significance. Benin is widely considered the birthplace of Voodoo, the same religion I made a video about in Togo. If you haven't watched the video, check my channel. Voodoo is one of the oldest traditional religions in Africa, practiced for centuries by many communities across the region. Over time, during the transatlantic slave trade, the religion spread from West Africa to the Caribbean and the Americas, influencing spiritual traditions in places like Haiti, Cuba, and Brazil. Today, Voodoo remains an important part of cultural identity here in Benin. Across the country, you can still see statues, shrines, rituals, and ceremonies that connect people to their ancestors and spiritual beliefs. My journey here started in Cotonou, the largest city in Benin. Cotonou is busy, vibrant, and full of life. A lot of motorbikes move through the streets. Markets are full of traders, and everywhere you go, you can feel the energy of the city. Here in Cotonou, the capital city of Benin, you have places like this. I know you never knew there are places like this in unpopular countries like Benin. So there you go. Beautiful. I want to show you how beautiful the shores are right here. Just look at that. In that direction you have Nigeria, and that direction you have Togo. Another good thing about this place is places you're seeing behind me, which is like the sitting area where there are restaurants and so on. Like, you don't have to pay to come in here. It's free, completely free. And to also come here is completely free. You don't have to pay for anything. So that's the reason why I'm surprised. How is no one here? I can stay here all day because of this beauty. What's she selling? What are you selling? How much? How much? Yeah, just one. Give me one. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, left hand. Sorry, because I'm holding it. What do you call this? A highway. Oh, okay, okay. Let me try it. Oh yes, it's plantain. Nothing special, but it's good. I promise it's good. Let me show you what prices here in Benin are like. You have a kilo of potatoes right here, 885 francs. You also have tomatoes right there, 2,000. And I think it's expensive. And also onions, 3,250. A bottle of small water is 420 CFA, which is like 80 cents. Things here are very expensive. I've noticed that most of the things here are imported, just like this. It's imported from France, which explains the reason why most of the things are very expensive. Let me show you what $18 a night gets you here in Cotonou, Benin Republic. So you have a very big sitting room here, and you have a kitchen that has everything, and here's the room with a very big bed, and this is a toilet. Benin may not always appear in international headlines, but this country has shaped history in ways many people around the world don't realize. From powerful kingdoms and legendary warriors to spiritual traditions that traveled across oceans, Benin carries a story that deserves to be told. And traveling through this country, you begin to understand just how rich and complex African history truly is. This is Benin Republic. If you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor and click that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.